Many of the major components in a glass block shower are purchased ready to install. Many waterproof shower bases are fabricated and shipped to the home for installation and are ready to receive tile as soon as the installation is completed. Glass block walls can be prefabricated and shipped in sections for an easier installation as well. But when it comes to grouting the glass block wall, the fact is that it must be done on-site after the wall has been completely built. Luckily, it's a process that lends itself well to DIY completion, as long as you know the right steps to take. The first thing to keep in mind is that it's very important to wait several hours after the wall is erected before beginning the grouting process. The silicone joints need to have time to cure properly before you take the next step. For a beginner, it may be a good idea to install the wall on day 1 and begin grouting on day 2. Since silicone is kind of flexible to begin with, the wall will have a tendency to sway until the grout has been applied and hardened. The extra curing time will help ensure that the bonds are secure against any minor movement or strain while grout is being applied. We can help by providing the pre-mixed urethane grout. Some of the benefits of using a urethane grout are that it is stain, mildew, and mold resistant, it is completely moisture sealed, and it does not require you to apply a sealant after it is applied, saving time, money, and aggravation. When you first open the bucket, the grout will appear milky and separated. You'll have to mix it by hand to get it prepared. It's important to mix or fold the grout by hand, not using an electric mixer. An electric mixer will whip up the grout too much and the consistency will be too creamy. The proper consistency for your urethane grout should be that of wet sand or bread dough. It's likely that you will need to remix the grout several times while grouting because it will begin to separate as it sits. On this job, the grout was applied using a traditional tile float, but another good method is to use a baker's bag as if you were piping frosting into the glass block joints. Apply the grout to a 2x2 or 2x3 area and then wipe that area with a damp sponge. You don't want to work too large of an area or wait too long before wiping the grout off of the glass, or the grout will begin to glaze and dry, making it much more difficult to clean. The sponge you use should be cleaned often, but it should only be damp, not sopping wet. You don't want to add a significant amount of additional moisture to the grout, or it could affect its strength and durability. Also, urethane repels water, so unless you really wring out the sponge, it will just smear the grout across the glass. Wipe, rinse, and wring out your sponge often. There are a few options available for finishing the top of the glass block wall. Some people opt to use tile or a stone cap, but in this case the homeowner decided to just apply the same grout used between all the blocks to provide a uniform look. Once the grouting is complete, wait a full 7 days before using your new shower. This will allow for proper curing of the grout, which is critical to the long-term value and integrity of the shower system. It should take you about an hour per side to grout the entire wall, but don't feel the need to rush through it. Work at your own pace and make sure you take care to do it right so that your shower can provide you years of worry-free functionality.